Welcome back to Online Darts, everyone. And we've got a special one here with Scott Hunt, who is Head of Global Operations at the new ADC, the Amateur Darts Circuit. Obviously, Scott, a lot's gone on since the rebrand of Modern Amateur Darts and whatever. I think it's a good time just to sit down and try and explain to people, because there is still a lot of confusion around.
Yeah, so we're rebranded the beginning of the year. We tried to just strip back everything. The ideas and concepts were had with MAD. Some things worked, some things didn't. We learned by that. And moving into 2022, we just looked to kind of, as mentioned, strip it back, start from the beginning and walk before we ran. And now, so we started with the open rankings at the back end of January, so the open ranking tournaments. We are trying to operate in 16 regions around the UK. We can go into a little bit more of that later, but that's kind of the idea, was keep everything simple, moving into the tour. And then we are going to introduce the exhibition, the belt structure back. But again, we're just making sure we're doing step by step and moving in and gain a little bit more momentum before we release everything. Obviously,
you were involved with the MAD setup as well and the concept. First of all, what bits do you feel worked and what bits didn't particularly?
The open ranking tournaments didn't run as well as we hoped. Originally, I just came in as operating the director for the Northeast. So I was just making sure the tournaments up here were running. We were applying MAD points. But there was a lot of confusion. The system we were using back then wasn't working or up to scratch to what we needed to do. So that failed, but the opportunities that we wanted to bring into using those ranking systems, we just weren't able to. The belt structure definitely worked. We gained a little bit of momentum to the back end of the year with some live events. We put on some good shows. The actual real-time atmosphere at the events was something was positive. We had some good feedback from it. We had a couple of hiccups with the streaming, as does everyone. A couple of audio problems, video problems. Wi-Fi wasn't up to scratch, but so that definitely could take some positives from that. But the whole idea and what we were trying to do is just offer opportunities to amateur players at grassroots level. I'm talking your local pubs. Qualify from, you could go to as many tournaments as you can. For example, myself in the Northeast, we've got a lot of stuff happening at the moment. If you qualify, you can play a lot of competitions around the pubs and clubs, gain some ranking points and acquire some points via that way, qualify for some majors, which we will be introducing in a later stage. You get cash prizes every 6 months if you top the rankings. And if you are top of the UK rankings come the end of the year, you do get a PDCQ school entry paid for as well.
Nice. I like that. Just touching on some of the bits that you said there. Yeah. Obviously, the belt one strength, but immediately strikes out, because again, I was a huge fan of the system, and I'm glad that's coming back, because one, it's fresh and it's new, it's something different for amateur darts. And the other thing I say that is, from when I remember going back when I was a kid playing, you could enter all these local competitions and you might get to round 2 1 week, round 1, round 3. There was no real structure, where at this level, like in the boxing, you can win a title at area level and then you can move up to regional, so you get to gauge where you're going and where your game is, and which I really like. So I'm pleased that's coming back.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's offering opportunities again. It's from working kind of a ladder pyramid system. From the bottom, you can start with the open tournaments, kind of get your feet there, get some ranking points. If you start playing well and doing better from that, you can put a challenge in to challenge your regional title and then move on, challenge the English title, and so on, so on. So yeah, definitely it's something that we are going to be bringing back in the near future. We're just making sure that we take everything step by step.
Are the original belt holders still the champions? Are they just migrated over as your champions?
The majority of them, yes. So we will have some vacated belts due to people getting the PDC Tour cards. Jim Williams, for example. We will be bringing that out and releasing that, and the belts will be up for a challenge. Yeah, the people, vacant belts. So yeah, definitely.
Going back to like the local scene, was that something that massively important to you? Obviously, I know that you're up in the Northeast and Steve is Bristol and Somerset area. Those tournaments, getting them off the ground, and I know the intention was good to ask people to give their tournaments mad points as they were back in the day. But is it something that you feel massively important about now, that as the ADC, you have to host these tournaments and say when they are and what they're going to be?
Well, we're still working very closely with promoters and operators from around the UK. What we did introduce originally, the main idea was have 16 directors across the UK. We've kind of scaled that back a bit. There's only a few of us working together now, but we're now working directly with these promoters. There's certain areas that are striving, that are just generally have got better promoters, or people that actually put a bit more time into these events. So we'll be looking into different areas like the north of Scotland, south of Scotland. We're still looking for operators up there that want to jump on board. We're having positive discussions with a lot of people. So moving forward, yeah, and the main thing is moving forward, everything is moving towards technology-driven software. So that's main key. You need to have these. We're working with operators at the moment that some use tablets, some don't. However, the backup with this, using Darts Atlas, you can input the scores manually and still use the software and still gain your ranking points. So we've kind of transitioned, using a transition period, moving over to technology, full tablet software. And we need to be working with operators that are willing to take that on and are going to be moving forward with the times with us.
Timescale wise, whereabouts are you on the journey? Are you where you'd want to be right now? Are you in front or are you behind on your timescale?
Yeah, our talks were definitely ahead. We weren't expecting to have, we've got nigh on 1,000 members now on the ranking table. We weren't expecting that after 3 months. Yeah, just over maybe shy of 3 months of operating since we started. Yeah, moving forward, we've got a lot to do. We've got a lot of stuff we want to do. We're now branching out the Benelux. They're going to be launching very shortly. They've got 128 pub tournaments going to be operating across the whole of the Benelux, which is the Netherlands, Luxembourg and Belgium, with all 128 qualifiers from each of those pub tournaments going into the Benelux Major Open. And then that will then increase opportunities for them for a big world open as such that we're going to be putting together. We're in talks with the USA market. We've got a good structure in place there. I'm going to be working with Matt from Darts Atlas very closely. And we're working with Ian Dargan in Australia and New Zealand. They have all states covered now with all their regions set up, and they will be releasing their plans as well. So we're definitely ahead of where we thought would be. We had a kind of an idea to be launching the middle of the year in all these areas. So we are ahead of schedule, yes.
On what you said about reintroducing the majors going forward, is there a time structure on them? And obviously I know it was a kind of rushed release when it was mad, but long term, do you still intend to have your own world championship at the end of every year? Yeah,
we've got something in the pipeline. We're going to be releasing it very shortly. I can just drop a couple of things in. It's going to be a £40,000 prize fund. It's going to be to the back end of the year in December. It's going to be at a large holiday village, and it's going to be an open system. So it's going to be an open tournament. We will have seeds. We will have a seeded route, so qualifying via UK ranking table, if other stuff that we've got going on. But anyone can enter it. Anyone can jump in and say, I'm playing in a world open. And that's our aim, is inclusion and allowing anyone to experience that as well. So we will be releasing more details in the future. That will be men's and ladies as well.
You touched on that. That was one of the things I was going to come on to. Are you going to have a separate ladies tour and events and ranking system?
Yeah, so we, as always, we're trying to operate as a business to start. Our bread and butter is the men's competitions. That's where we find we could best perform. But in the future, yes, we're looking at it. We're slowly introducing ladies tournaments, ladies grand slams, both in Bristol, Manchester. We're going to be operating in different areas as well. But long term, yes, we do have aspirations and ideas to bring the ladies game up to speed as well.
Is that important because of the buzz around the ladies game at the moment, that the PDC Women's Series is just going from strength to strength? And I know Kirsty from up your neck of the woods, we spoke to her at Lakeside. She was very passionate about, look, we're shouting for this. We need more opportunities. So is that something that is massively close to your heart more than anything?
Yeah, definitely. Well, especially again, touching on, I know I keep mentioning the Northeast, we've got some great players up here. More so Kirsty, who's just proven what she can do on the world stage. it's just the inclusion side of it. There's so many talented players, amateurs, men's, ladies, youth out there that don't just get that the opportunities. We want to give that back to them, definitely. And we're going to be looking at adding on next year with the tour, potentially bringing in the ladies tour as well. Yes.
Cool. Also, talking about the majors that you spoke about, I liked some of the ideas. Like, I know we speak about it on the live lounge a lot, the Royal Rumble concept. Are we still going to have those type of ones that were floated?
Yeah, so we've got plans for our singles leagues that we're running at the moment, the Red Dragon singles leagues. We're going to be having the finals of that, as well as the tour finals on the same weekend. And we're looking to bring back in the Golden Gauntlet, which will be the Royal Rumble concept. All 16 regions, all 16 champions drawn out, and one by one, and the winner stays on and wins the pot.
Also, a lot of things, and I've been quite critical of other people about this, about how it was just always the same. It was just 501, best of 3, 5, 7, however you like it. Are there plans to introduce things like the 1001 shootout, one leg, and stuff like that to keep it fresh and keep it different?
We've not discussed it. Well, no, yes, we have discussed different ideas, but at the moment, as mentioned in the beginning, we're doing things, we're starting small, keep things, doing what we're good at as such, and then see where we'll end up. But definitely, we're open to anything, keeping things fresh and moving forward.
All these bigger events and the finals of the Champions Weeks and stuff like that, long term, obviously, I'm guessing you'd like them on TV, but if not, will they be streamed to start with so people are still getting exposure?
Yeah, so we've teamed up with a production company that's going to be streaming our tour, starting at Rating Arena in the Northeast in a couple of weeks' time. We're going to be, so all the tour is going to be streamed as well as the national finals. So full production, full commentary, and everything's been tested, so it will be working.
Are you pleased with how it's gone and how the migration has gone overall?
Yes, there's always going to be people frowned upon. The main problem I had at the start was my area is not covered. Why is there no competitions in my area? I totally understand that. But again, we need to just start working with people that we are confident of working with, that can provide a good service and bring a good tournament that's up to scratch and what we think should be, of a good standard. But that was the main thing, and it's trying to please everyone. You can't do that. So moving forward, I hope that we can offer up these opportunities. Again, with the World Open, anyone can enter that. And these exhibition nights as well, anyone can challenge or bid to be on that structure and put a name for, get the name out there.
Got absolute pleasure sitting down and talking with you, mate, and giving the ADC a good push, and we look forward to things that are coming in the future.
All right, brilliant. Cheers for your time, Phil. Thank you.